It looks like a bus but sounds like a train. In just a few minutes, this hybrid rail bus with seats for 42 passengers transitions from the road to the train tracks in Port Alberni. Saskatchewan-based CNRS has loaned it to the Island Corridor Foundation as it floats it as a potential tourist attraction or commuter solution for Vancouver Island.
We don't know if it's viable economically yet, but we wanted to test the people on Vancouver Island. Is there interest? Is this something that, you would like to do? And then if there is, then we can go further and do the business feasibility and those sorts of things.
The rail lines between Victoria and Courtenay and between Parksville and Port Alberni haven't seen passenger traffic since 2011. Commercial traffic continues on a small portion of the line in Nanaimo, but there are definitely some snags. One rail bridge remains impassable in Shawnigan Lake after it was rammed by a truck in 2022, and the Snout-Nowis First Nation pulled up the rail line through its lands in November 2024. At least 2 trestles near Cameron Lake were also recently destroyed by the Wesley Ridge fire. That's where the bus portion of this particular plan comes in, with the option to drive around the impassable parts, or maybe the rail bus only runs in certain intact sections of the line, possibly helping to alleviate congestion in and out of Victoria.
How do we connect the rail with the airport and the ferry? And this is perfect. You go on the rail and you go off and you drop people at the ferry and the airport. That's one of the solutions.
The model is proving successful elsewhere. The Seton Lake First Nation uses the rail bus to access healthcare, groceries, and schools in Lillooet. The Island Corridor Foundation says this type of service could also be quite a tourist attraction between Port Alberni and Cameron Lake, or down a section of the east side of Vancouver Island.
We can still go to some pretty amazing places if people want to see the high rail bus on Vancouver Island in a public way. So we're encouraged, and we think that we are still relevant as a corridor, and we want to hustle and we want to be an asset and not a liability.
The rail bus will leave Vancouver Island in the next 24 hours, but Bevan believes this type of service could be established here and soon. He says most of the Foundation's tracks could support the high rail bus at a reduced speed of up to 40 kilometers an hour.